What is going on, folks? I am back with yet another reaction to the Texans and the Jaguars game. This one was one of the slappiest games of today. Nico Collins was basically like the bright lights on the Texans, and then ETN also a good showing again for the Jaguars. But both QBs struggled in this one. Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud both struggled in this one mightily, right? And this has been 3 weeks now where we've seen these guys struggle. The Texans are 0-3, but at least the Jaguars are winning, right? So I mean, if you can struggle your way out and keep winning, that's better than being 0-3. But there's not too much to highlight here besides Nico Collins. The only person you can trust in the Houston offense currently is Nico Collins. There's no one else you can start with any level of confidence. Maybe Christian Kirk as he gets going here. I know he's been out the past few weeks, so he might just need to ramp up here and help them out. But that offense just can't move the ball right now. Nick Chubb is doing okay, but they're not getting close enough to really make his day worth his while. And on like the Jaguar side, Travis Etienne continues to shine in that offense, 16 for 56 and one touchdown. I'm sure as the lead back here, as they start to really gain traction in that offense, I expect him to be a part of the pass game. I think there's some comfort level there with Trevor Lawrence. So not too much to write about in this one. This is one of the ones where you try to forget and hope that there's a better day ahead. But a guy that I want to talk about here is Hunter Henry. Brian Thomas Jr. is struggling, and I think that those struggles of these guys are somewhat tied to Trevor Lawrence and the entire offense, and then partly just figuring out how to be a wide receiver in the NFL. Travis Hunter, I mean, this is a guy we heard so much about coming into the season, and just how much of opportunity there will be for him to really be a wide receiver one. So if you invested in him as such, you are probably regretting it now. I just think there's a lot more to being an NFL wide receiver that he needs to work on. If you want to know most of those things, go listen to Steve Smith's podcast. He talked about just some of the things it takes to be like a top wide receiver in the game, the level of focus it needs on one side of the ball. Right now, Hunter is trying to play both sides of the ball, and he may not be doing either of those correctly. And I just think there are things he needs to learn about playing the position that he really didn't do in college, and he needs to get up to speed. But regardless, the offense is horrid at this point because Brian Thomas knows how to play an NFL wide receiver, right? We saw what he did last year. And if he can barely get targets, I don't know what to tell you, right? So something is wrong with the offense. At least Trevor Lawrence's confidence in this offense. There's still work to be done here. The good thing is that they're still winning. They're 2-1 right now, so they can figure this out as they go along. And I think there are better days for Brian Thomas Jr. I think he will be fine long term, but I think we may want to keep an eye on Travis Hunter, right? And if you can trade him away, I'll find opportunities to trade him away but right now, what are you going to get for him, right? No one's going to give you any player of note for Hunter. So just keep your eye on that one, see how this offense progresses. But it is super frustrating if you, especially if you invested in Brian Thomas Jr. This is a guy who was being drafted for sometimes $60 depending on your league. He was going for $60, $70 if you have one of those custom budgets, leagues with custom budgets. So yeah, to see how he's performing thus far is really disappointing. But again, it's not too much here from a fantasy standpoint. From a fantasy standpoint and a waiver wire standpoint, there's not a lot of implications to this game. There's no one I can tell you to go and pick up in this game that I think is worthwhile, right? We just hope that this offense produces better results than they've been able to do thus far. That is about it, guys. Hope this one was helpful. We'll be back with more. Until then, peace out.